We're here in downtown Palm Springs, the famous corner of Tahquitz Canyon and Palm Canyon Drive. And a recent addition to Palm Springs is the huge Marilyn Monroe statue. Well, one of the fortunate things about the statue, other than for Palm Springs, it attracts literally thousands of people a day, is the really nice decomposed granite terrain that surrounds the statue. And it turns out, yes, you guessed it, this is a great place to throw petanque. So let's take a look.
Sorry for the background traffic noise. So with about 2 or 3 minutes of work raking, we've turned this public area into quite a playable petanque terrain. In fact, throwing with Marilyn reminds me a lot of throwing petanque in public spaces in Paris. Perhaps because I spend so much time picking up cigarette butts. That's a whole different story. The point is, this is a perfect public space for throwing petanque, and you get lots of people involved. But the downside is, there are times of the day and times of the year, the Christmas holidays were just passed, when this place is so crowded with tourists that there's no way you're going to be throwing pound-and-a-half steel balls in the air. So when you play in public spaces, you have to choose reasonable times when you can share the space with the other public users. But other than that, we love throwing at Maryland. It's just so much fun being downtown, having lots of people come up and ask us about the game. And yes, of course, 9 out of 10 people walk up and say, "Hey, you're playing bocce." And we have to explain that, no, this isn't bocce. It takes them 10 minutes to learn how to say petanque, but eventually they get it. So let's throw a couple Boules and see what the rollout's like. And that's it. It's a classic decomposed granite terrain. Many people would consider it even a beginner's terrain because the données are so easy and consistent. The rolling friction's consistent, so pointers can do really well. One other thing I'd like to point out is, once again, in a public space you have an issue, especially with shooters. Because shooters are going to throw the Boule, and whether they hit or miss, Boules are going to travel great distances. So you definitely have to have your group form a corridor around the cochinet, and what that does is that lets the general public know where the playing area is. And when someone's going to shoot, they should announce their intentions, and one of their teammates can get 5 or 6 meters behind the cochinet and act as a backup to catch any errant Boules so they don't damage public property or break the leg of a tourist, which would be a real nasty thing. So exercise common sense when you're playing in public spaces.